to the Big D streams. Let's try that again. Welcome to the Big D streams on this sad day, unfortunately, following the passing of Liverpool player Diogo Jota and his brother, André Silva. It's a bit crap, really. I woke up this morning, my phone buzzed, and Live Score came up with the latest news, and it said what it said, that he died in a car crash, him and his brother. They were overtaking someone, and their wheel tyre exploded, and they crashed, and then the car set on fire, and then there wasn't much more information other than that, outside of the fact that they died there and then. So it's an absolute shame. I'm a little bit late tonight because I was just watching a little Diogo Jota tribute video there that was from a few years ago, actually, and just looking at some of his goals, and he was a class player, because you forget sometimes, because when you support a particular side, especially when you support Man United, the last team that you're looking at is Liverpool, or Wolves for that matter. You just seem to be in your own little echo chamber of watching your own team. So sometimes you don't appreciate how good other players are. And I was just looking at some of his goals and for Wolves and Arsenal, and he was banging in some corkers playing for Wolves as well, and he was scoring some big goals against some big sides. He was scoring against United, Arsenal. So it's a shame, really. It's an absolute shame. And I've been looking at his statistics over the course of his career, and I'm just going to get this up again now using my trusty AI assistant, ChatGPT. Give me Diogo Jota achievements as of July 2025. And he scored close to 200 goals for Liverpool alone. He's got loads of assists. He's won the Premier League with Liverpool. He's won the FA Cup with Liverpool. He's won the League Cup twice. He did the FA Cup and League Cup double. He won the Championship title with Wolves in 2017-2018. And he was a Champions League runner-up in 21-22. And he's also won the UEFA Nations League twice with Portugal. And I think it's safe to say that Portugal are probably one of the favourites for the World Cup next year. And I think it's safe to say that the team's a lot weaker now that Diogo Jota's passed following that horrific accident today. But the point is, he was a brilliant player and he achieved so much. He's lived the dream. Absolutely lived the dream. And God bless him. God bless his family. And yeah, our thoughts and prayers with him and his family tonight, and for the foreseeable future. And let's don't forget his brother André Silva, who's also a professional footballer as well. And apparently, from what I was reading, him and his brother were really, really close. So it's small consolation that at the very least they passed together. So yeah, let's have a little look at his brother's achievements as a professional. Let's see. Let's see what it says here. Just looking at the chat here. Everything Gaming says, rest in peace, Jota and his brother. You'll be missed. My love and support are with your family. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Everything Gaming. Yeah, just to sort of point out, if there's anything that anyone wants to say, please put it in the chat. The Big D reads all of the chat. He's always interested in what is on your mind. If you want to put what your favourite Diogo Jota moment is, even if you're a United fan, because he scored against United, fair play, you know. At the end of the day, it's only a game. It's only a daft game. The Big D gets irate sometimes watching Man United, and especially watching Man United versus Liverpool and all of that. But again, at the end of the day, who cares? It's just a daft match, daft game, two daft teams, and it's just entertainment. And I think it's important to remember that when situations like this crop up. But just looking at his brother here, his full name was André Felipe Teixeira. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Teixeira da Silva. He was born on April 28, 2000. He was 25 at the time of his passing. He was an attacking midfielder, and he also was deployed as a left winger or a centre forward. So he was similar to his brother, really. He came through Porto's academy, Boa Vista as well. Made, let's see here, senior club stats. He played quite a few games, to be fair. Played for Gondomar between 21 and 23. Made 37 appearances, scored 9 goals. Played for Penafiel between 23 and 25. Made 59 appearances, 6 goals. And he was known for his speed, attacking drive and versatility on the wing or through the centre. He's got a degree in business management as well. And he was described as humble, studious and deeply committed off the pitch. And this is what it says, his legacy and circumstances. So apparently, while he didn't achieve major silverware, André was a respected second division professional, admired for his dedication, versatility and strong character. His journey from Gondomar Academy to FC Porto Youth and Penafiel senior squad marks him as a hard-working footballer who balanced sport and his studies. André Silva may not have reached global stardom, but at just 25 he achieved nearly 100 senior appearances in the Portuguese league, Portuguese football. He had a key role at Penafiel in the second division in Portugal. He had a university degree while playing professionally, and he was recognised as being a versatile and diligent player, and with a bright future tragically cut short. And his loss and that of his brother Diogo is deeply felt across Portuguese and international football as well. Yeah. Very, very, very sad indeed. So yeah, if you want to put your tributes in the chat, I'll happily read them out. No problem at all. Even Liverpool fans, any Liverpool fans watching, no problem. You're more than welcome on this particular day. But yeah, we shall move on to some other subjects for the time being. We've got a few things to get through. I'm going to be commenting on Ollie Watkins rumours, Sancho to Juventus, Anthony to Betis, the situations with Rashford and Garnacho, and also we're going to close out the stream with my ideal summer signings and why. But yeah, remember, throughout this particular stream, if you've got anything to say, if something is on your mind, please put it in the chat. The Big D reads all of the comments, and he's always interested in what is on your mind. Anyway, okay, so with the Gyökeres situation not really materialising as it stands, and with Mbeumo stalling a little bit, although I did say at the beginning of the week, we will have him signed by Friday. We've still got 24 hours. Still, it's not over the line yet. So because of that, apparently Man United have been shifting their focus to Ollie Watkins. And I mean, I wouldn't read too much into this. I think Manchester United are just using the Ollie Watkins situation just as a means to show Brentford and Sporting Lisbon that, well, if you're not going to negotiate fairly with Mbeumo and Gyökeres, we can easily move on to someone else. It's like when you're having a little bit of a tiff with your girlfriend and you start talking to another lass at the bar. She's quickly going to be like, I better be nice and start talking to him properly and resolve these arguments, or some other chick might get him. And the lasses can do that as well. It works both ways. It's just a case of just playing a little bit of a game. And from my sort of observations with Ineos at the moment, they've been class in the transfer market since they've been in charge of that. They have been getting things done in a timely manner, generally speaking, and they haven't been messing around if clubs aren't sort of playing ball in the transfer market. It was the same with Branthwaite last year. Everton wanted stupid money for what is an average defender. So Man United were like, nah. And then we got De Ligt, which was great, who's a much better player. And we got him for cheap as well. So, yeah, I think personally this Ollie Watkins is just a little bit of fugazi, just a little way to sort of speed up Sporting Lisbon and Brentford in negotiating with Man United. That being said, if there is some truth in Ollie Watkins coming to Man United, no, come on, behave. I mean, he's a good player, but he's not exactly a Man United player. And for 60 million, if we're going to have a number 9 playing up front for Man United, if we're going to pay the money for a number 9, it isn't Ollie Watkins, and it ain't 60 million for him. If they were flogging him for 20, then fair enough, it'd be worth the punt. But for 60 million, considering that Mbeumo is only 65, nah, I'm not having that. No, and especially you can get Jamie Vardy for nout. He's going for a free at the moment. Get him in. In fact, I'd be snapping Jamie Vardy up, because Jamie Vardy can teach Rasmus Højlund how to put the ball in the back of the net and how to move about and how to use his tactical nous and all of that. Because that's what Rasmus Højlund needs. In fact, it would be a much wiser investment in spending the money on Gyökeres and getting Jamie Vardy in as a coach. Well, not even necessarily as a coach, but as a wiser head, just to play in League Cup games and the odd Premier League game, just to sort of bring on Rasmus Højlund. I think that would be a really astute signing. But Ollie Watkins, yeah, Ollie Watkins would be a good signing if he was going for 20-25 million. But for 60 million, that's what Aston Villa have. That's the price tag that they've put on his head. It's like, behave yourself. And don't forget this as well. Like, they got Marcus Rashford in, and they were playing Marcus Rashford up front instead of Ollie Watkins. What does that say? Rashford's crap as well. So why are we bringing in a player that couldn't get a game over a player that we didn't want in the first place at his own club? So I don't think Ollie Watkins is the way forward for Manchester United, I'm afraid. But hey-ho. But apparently, moving on to some more positive news, apparently Jadon Sancho and moving to Juventus has some positive news. Some positive talks have been held most recently. They want to speed this up, apparently, and the only thing that's getting in the way, really, is personal terms. Because, obviously, Jadon Sancho's on a big chunk of wedge at Manchester United, and Juve don't really want to pay that. And I'm not surprised, because Sancho hasn't really done anything in the past couple of years to warrant another £300,000 a year contract, or whatever it is. The fee, I'm not sure, is much of an issue, but 25 million for Sancho, I think that's fair. He's got 1 year left in his contract with the option of a second year. An extra year. So I think it would be fair for Man United to pay a percentage to Juventus for his wages for the remainder of his year and get 25 million from Juventus, and then for Sancho to maybe get, I don't know, what would Juventus pay? Juventus would maybe pay £200,000 a week, And then if Man United gave an extra £100,000 a week for the next 12 months, then he's at least getting his 300k a year for the first year, say, and then he gets £200,000 a year for the next couple of years or 3 years with Juventus. I think that's a fair trade because he ain't getting that money, £300,000 a week, anywhere else at this moment, unless he goes to Juventus and he smashes it for that next year, right? Which he's probably not going to do because he's rubbish and he doesn't have the work ethic. He's got talent, but he doesn't have the work ethic. But that's how it stands at the moment. Fee and personal terms seem to be a little bit of a stumbling block, but the talks have been positive. Anthony to Betis. It looks like Anthony is going to Betis at the moment. They seem to be the major players in this issue, but the deal is complicated because Man United paid a lot of money for Anthony, and Anthony, even though he played really well for Betis last season, I don't think they're going to want to pay 70, 80 million for him. I don't think anyone's going to want to pay that much for him, but I think 30 to 40 million is reasonable for Anthony, considering he's still got sell-on value as well, and he played well last season for Betis. But as it stands, Betis are the major players. They really want him. He really wants to go there, but the fee seems to be a stumbling block at the moment, I think. That's the general gist that I'm getting. Rashford and Garnacho. Well, I mean, the problem with these two players, which is similar to Sancho as well, really, not so much with Anthony, because when Anthony went to Betis, he really put the effort in, really. Rashford and Garnacho seem to have attitude problems, and that puts off teams paying money for them. Now, they've both got a lot of interest in them, but I can imagine the attitude is a problem, plus also the money that they're going to want to get per week, and also the money that Man United are going to want. Now, here's the thing. Bayern Munich are interested in Marcus Rashford. Now, unfortunately, with the situation with Diogo Jota, that actually has a factor in this, I think, because Bayern Munich were interested in Luis Diaz, and they've inquired. Liverpool rejected that. I'm assuming they might have been open to that as of yesterday, especially if Bayern Munich put some, real money down for him. But with the passing of Jota, I think it's an impossibility that Liverpool are going to sell him now that Diogo Jota is obviously not going to be playing. So that means then that Bayern Munich might be more open to paying the money for Rashford. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Rashford is available. He'll be available for reasonable money for Bayern Munich, and also I can imagine they'll be able to pay him, a fair amount of money. I think, the Germans tend to be quite astute, very practical. So I can imagine that Bayern Munich will sort of, maybe give 30 million to Man United for him. Plus also, they'll maybe give Rashford maybe 150 grand a year plus add-ons. So if Rashford performed, got goals and assists, that might bring it up to, say, 300 grand a week, something like that. And then everyone's happy. That incentivizes Rashford to put the effort in, score a goal, get an assist, and, Bayern are going to feel as though they've got their money, going to want to feel as though they've got the money's worth. So yeah, and I think German football would suit Marcus Rashford, really. I mean, if Jadon Sancho can look like a world beater in the German league, then I think Rashford's a better player than Sancho. Then there's no reason why Rashford can't go to Bayern Munich and start looking like a world beater again. And he's got Harry Kane there as well, so they know how to work together. And I don't know, I think it just seems like a good fit, really. And it would work well for Man United because we'd get some decent money for him. So I think that's the best way forward, really. I haven't really heard much in terms of what specific teams are interested in Garnacho lately. It's kind of quiet. I've just heard that there is interest in him. So, I don't know. Watch this space as regards to him. Remember, as I say, if you've got any questions, any thoughts, please put it in the chat. Big D reads all of the chat. Diogo Jota tributes. Where you think Rashford and Garnacho might end up. What you think of the situation with Ollie Watkins. Big D's always interested in what is on your mind. Anyway, so far, Man United have got Matheus Cunha over the line in terms of major signings. We got Leon in, but we had him bought, a few months ago, and he's a young player. I don't know how much he's going to be playing next season. He might be gradually brought into the team, but he seems like a wonder kid. We'll see how that pans out. But it seems like we've got about 18 left backs. We started January with hardly any left backs, and now we've got about 18. Luke Shaw's come back. Malacia is back, but we're trying to get rid of him. And we've got Dorgu now, and we've got this Leon now. So we've got 4 left backs. Have I missed anyone? I don't know. Remind me if I have. But anyway, point being, we've got Cunha over the line. And Mbeumo is creeping over the line. Now, I like Mbeumo. Initially, I thought that all we needed was a number 10, a number 9, and a goalkeeper. And next season, we'd be class. I've since changed my mind. Okay. Now, we've got Cunha in. If we got Mbeumo and Gyökeres, that would be fantastic. Don't want Ollie Watkins. Don't want him. But Mbeumo, Cunha, Gyökeres, and Jamie Vardy as a little Mr. Miyagi figure in the locker room just to coach up Rasmus Højlund, then I think we've got an attack next season that would put the willies up any Premier League team next season. And we just need to keep the back three and the midfield solid, and we will soar up that table. I still say we need another goalkeeper. I want Diogo Costa. Diogo Costa is the man for me. Now, I've since had a friend of mine send me a little bit of a highlight reel of Diogo Costa, and he looked crap. But my friend doesn't like goalkeepers, so I'm going to take that one with a pinch of salt. Me and him have had many a debate about certain players like David De Gea and Bruno Fernandes. I don't know. He doesn't like goalkeepers, so we'll see how that pans out. But I want Diogo Costa. Hang on. Nick Seeley. I'm absolutely heartbroken. God bless Diego. MUFC. Yeah, I think that's fair, Nick. Thanks for the comment. It was, it wasn't nice at all. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that for any team, let alone rival teams. And Diogo Jota, what a player! I would recommend going on YouTube and looking at some of his goals, some of his highlight reels, because he scored some cracking goals against some big sides. And what we can think about with regards, just to digress from what I was originally saying about United transfers, what we can what we need to remember is that Diogo Jota likely grew up wanting to play football at the top level for a top side and play for his national side, and he did it. He's lived the dream. In that brief time that he's had on this earth with us, he has done more than 99% of people out there. He has lived his dream. And also, he's had his kids. He's married the love of his life as well. So he's done more in his 28 years than most people do in a lifetime. So I think we need to celebrate that as well. So R.I.P. Diogo Jota. And God bless him and his family. But yeah, going back to what I was saying. Yeah, so we've got Cunha, we get Mbeumo, we get Gyökeres, Diogo Costa as well. I don't think we need any midfielders. I don't think we need any defenders, as in central defenders. But I would like to see another wing back in there as well. Because as much as Dorgu played well last season, I'm not sure he's going to be there yet for next season. I think there's a player there. But, I don't know. I feel like we need a ready-made fullback. We don't need two. One will do, even if it's a right wing-back, to help Diogo Dalot. I feel as though we need a fullback as well. But yeah, so that's my ideal summer signings, Gyökeres. I used to say Osimhen, but if we're getting Cunha and Mbeumo, that takes the pressure off getting a number 9. So it would be worth making the punt on Gyökeres, who I think has found his level in Portugal, but you never know. But it would be worth the punt at 60 mil. But if we weren't getting Mbeumo, we'd need a big name up front like Osimhen. But if we're getting Mbeumo, Cunha, Gyökeres, he'll be able to help Rasmus Højlund because there's a Scandinavian connection there as well. And Diogo Costa in the nets and a full-back as well. A wing-back, that is. A wing-back. A good one. An attacking one that can cross a ball. Then I think that would be an ideal summer transfer window. But anyway, what do you guys think? The Big D's always interested in what is on your mind. Please, thoughts in the comments, in the chat. The Big D is always interested. But yeah, that's all that's on the Big D's mind today. It's a nice short one today. Sad news, unfortunately, with the passing of Diogo Jota and his brother André Silva. Thoughts and prayers to him and his family. Just to recap, Ollie Watkins looks like Man United are after him, apparently, although I think it's just a little ploy to speed up the negotiations with Mbeumo and potentially Gyökeres. Sancho to Juventus is progressing well. Anthony to Betis is looking promising. Rashford and Garnacho, it's quiet at the moment. Rashford has Bayern interested, and unfortunately with the passing of Diogo Jota, that means that I think Bayern's interest in Diaz is gonna fade away, and I think because Liverpool are not going to want to sell him, obviously, for obvious reasons. And I reckon Bayern will concentrate more on Rashford. And then, obviously, I've just said there, my ideal summer signings. A quick recap. Let's just have a little look to see if there's anything while I'm here before I go. It's all quiet on the transfer front at the moment. Let's see. Positive talks. Yeah, it's just as I left it. But yeah, thank you for watching. All those that have watched today. It's been a pleasure having you. And remember, the Big D will see you in the next one.